I can share my screen, right, Prabhuji? Yeah.
You should be Prabhuji.
Yes. So we'll do a brief kirtan and then we'll get started. Hare Krishna. Bol Hari 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 Bol Manare Anand Bhai Bol Hari Bol Manare Anand Bhai Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Janam janam sukh bol Hari Bol Janam janam sukh bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol Bolo Bol Hari Bol Bol Hari Bol
Bol Hari Bol.
मानव जन्म पाए भाई बोल हरि बोल मानव जन्म पाए बोल हरि बोल सुखे डाको दुखे डाको बोल हरि बोल सुखे डाको दुखे डाको बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि
Bol Hari Bol.
Vikade bhai bol Hari bol Sampade vikade bhai bol Hari bol bol Hari bol Hari bol Hari bol Hari bol Dihe thako vale thako bol Hari bol Dihe thako vale thako bol Hari bol Kitnera samsare thaki bol Hari bol Kitnera samsare thaki bol Hari bol bol Hari bol bol Hari bol bol Hari bol बोल हरि बोल सत्संग छाड़े भाई बोल हरि बोल सत्संग छाड़ी भाई बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बोलो बोल हरि बोल वैष्णवाचरणे पड़ी बोल हरि बोल वैष्णवाचरणे पड़ी बोल हरि बोल बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर नित्यानंदा बोल गौर नित्यानंदा बोल गौर गौर नित्यानंदा गौर गौर गदाधर बोल गौर गदाधर बोल गौर गदाधर बोल गौर अद्वैता बोल गौर अद्वैता बोल गौर अद्वैता बोल गौर अद्वैता बोल बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल 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 हरि बोल, जन्म जन्म सुख बोल हरि बोल, मानव जन्म पाए बोल हरि बोल, सुखे रखो दुखे रखो बोल हरि बोल, संपद विपद भाई बोल हरि बोल, जिहे ठाको वाले ठाको बोल हरि बोल, मेरा संसार खाकी बोल हरि बोल, असत्संग छाड़े भाई बोल हरि बोल, वैष्णव चरण छोड़ी बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, बोल बोल हरि बोल, बोल हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा, हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, जय राधा मदन मोहन, राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन, राधा मदन मोहन राधे, जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जय जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी भाव तुम्हें, जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पतगामी Nitai Gaurango, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari, Nitai Gaurango, Gaura Hari, Jaya Sati Nandana, Jai Sati Nandana, Jai Sati Nandana, Gaura Hari, Jai Sati Nandana, Jai Sati Nandana, Gaura Hari, Pavana, Pavana, Gaura Hari, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana, Patita Pavana, Gaura Hari, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Shri 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 Radha Madan Mohan Bhagwan की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री गौर निताई की जय, श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरुदेव की जय, निताई गौर हरि प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for Kirtan. I'll be introducing a short.
Hare Krishna. I can't hear you, Prabhuji. Can anybody else hear, Prabhuji, or it's just me?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. I think Shashank Prabhuji is logged out of.
Oh, okay, okay. Hare Krishna. let's wait for him to come back, or maybe in the meantime I can finish the invocation prayers. Is that okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मणाहिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वतीदेवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिमित् कृपातमं वन्दे श्री गुरु दिनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम पवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत् स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष साभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Yeah. Are you able to hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay, Prabhuji. So I would like to welcome all the devotees today for the day one session of the Janmashtami Shravanotsava festival. So today we have distinguished speaker, our own His Grace Lilananda Das Prabhuji. As you all know, he is a disciple of His Holiness Radhana Swami. He serves a community of devotees in Gachibowli area of Hyderabad, and he is actively involved in teaching principles of Bhagavad Gita to people of today's modern age. He and his congregation maintains and serves around 64 cows near Moinabad in his private farm named Vaishnav Seva Kunj. I'm sure many of you might have already got the opportunity to visit that farm. Materialist by profession, he is a CA and dual MBA, and he heads finance for a group of IT multinational company located in Madhapur, Hyderabad. So with this small introduction, I would like to hand it over to His Grace Lilananda Das Prabhuji to take us through today's session.
Hare Krishna. First of all, my please accept my humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas who are there in this call, all the Vaishnavas who are so gloriously serving in the ISKCON Abbots Temple in many roles, in many services. I am absolutely feeling unqualified to sit here and speak in front of all of you, knowing so nicely that the whole world looks at Hyderabad ISKCON Temple as the most trained up temple in terms of devotee education and training. I could not be part of it, but still you're giving me an opportunity to come here and discuss the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna. I'm very grateful to the whole temple management and all the senior devotees who felt that by engaging me like this, I'll get some qualities like all of you. So thank you very much, Prabhuji and Matajis, for coming. Am I clearly audible? Is it clearly audible for all of you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So in this endeavor, if I'm making any mistakes, please forgive me, just like you forgive your servant in the house. She makes any mistakes. So I'm sure I'm going to learn myself out of this. So one of the verses that Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada always quoted many times, in fact, in his purports, we all know that verse very well. It's 15:15. Sarvasya chaham hridhi sanniveshto matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedesya sarver ahama vivedyo vedanta krit vedavitev chaham. This verse clearly explains that Lord Krishna, he is there in our hearts, in every living entity's heart. And through him comes remembrance, through him comes forgetfulness, and through him comes knowledge also. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So, and the whole purpose of the whole Vedas is to understand him, right? And his appearances, disappearances, his qualities, janma karma chame divyam evam yevita tattvataha. The whole point is to understand why he appeared, how he appears, and how he delivers all of us, how he attracts all of us. And even while we are sitting here and trying to repeat his birth Leela, his appearance Leela, so to say, what can we repeat? Because he is the one who is giving the knowledge, he is the one who is giving the remembrance, he is the one who is giving forgetfulness also. So I only request Lord Krishna that please use me as an instrument now for the next half an hour maybe, where you will allow me to remember and not forget some aspects of your appearance. So we all can cherish, we all can remember the sweetness of your appearance and prepare our consciousness for the Janmashtami, upcoming Janmashtami, so that we can serve Srila Prabhupada on this glorious festival by encouraging many, many more new souls to come to the temple, come and take up the Krishna consciousness. So for all that, we need the right consciousness. So I really am amazed and am applauding from my heart to the management who has come up with this initiative of preparing our consciousness. Just like preparing our consciousness when we go to Yatra, we are here preparing our consciousness when we are coming and when we have Janmashtami coming in just few more days. So we have heard the pastime of Lord appearing many times, and great sannyasis in our movement have explained it with so much, so much extended purport, not only the purport of Prabhupada, but also an extended purport. And so many great acharyas have commented on the appearance of Lord Shri Krishna. So what I felt today, in the next given time, I don't know what is the time right now. Yeah, I have exactly maybe half an hour. It's 8:20, so maybe let's keep 10 minutes for any reflections or questions. So in half an hour, I'm going to go through the pastime itself of Lord Krishna's appearance and maybe reflect upon few inspiring quotes given by senior devotees in our movement, which might be helpful in preparing our consciousness, right? So, so basically, as we all know, it was a big marriage. It was the biggest marriage in Ugrasena's kingdom when his son Kamsa was getting married. His son Kamsa was arranging the marriage, and daughter Devaki was getting married. And they wanted that to be the best marriage. And Kamsa also selected his own friend, Vasudev, to marry his sister. And everything was going perfect, right? I mean, everyone was respectful to each other. Everyone was very happy, and all the rituals were happening in the Vedic way. It was not like Kamsa was against Vedas or against Vaishnavas or anything like that. Kamsa did not show all those indications. He was behaving like the best son and the best brother. And if you read Bhagavatam, we actually see that he was very, very respectful towards his friend, towards his sister, and the whole kingdom. He was arranging in such a grand way, right? And at one point, he went to such a point that where he said, "I'm going to be a charioteer. I will take care of the chariot itself. You just both of you relax, and this is my opportunity to take my sister to my beloved friend's house. Now that the marriage has happened, I have to serve my sister and my brother-in-law, who was also my friend earlier. So actually the whole episode is explained in such a, non-controversial or any indication of anything bad is going to happen. But just when the Akashvani came, as we all know, where it said, "Hey Kamsa, you are a fool because you are driving the chariot of the couple whose eighth son is going to be the reason for your death," right? So Kamsa was totally shocked, and Kamsa knew that something that is coming from the sky, from the Devatas, the Akashvani, cannot be untrue. So it was not a question of does he have faith. Well, he had faith, and that is the reason he immediately believed it also. But then Acharyas explained that just when Kamsa heard this, the true qualities. Sorry, is there any problem with the audio? I can see a message here being sent.
No, Prabhuji, we are able to hear you properly.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay, no, I saw some chat message. Maybe we'll ignore it in case the host can decide. So basically, where was I? Yeah, the Kamsa, after he heard that message, his true colors came out, right? The whole respect for his sister, the whole respect for his father, the amount of love for his friend Vasudev, everything changed. Because now the question is, there is an obstacle in his plans for sense gratification. Acharya explained like that. And Acharyas even say that Kamsa can be compared to our body, our material body, which gives us so many plans to enjoy, isn't it? When we were a child, we were planning, okay, when I become big, I'll earn more and I eat more ice cream. Or I'll earn more and I'll play more games, right? That's what a child would think. And then when you grow up, you start thinking, I'm going to enjoy in a little different way. So your body is growing, and also the plans are growing along with the body. Even the oldest person, in the family is still thinking, I'll have my plot somewhere in some area of the city, and I'll have a compound wall, and I'll have my own garden. So the desires are endless because of the way body is growing. With desires are also growing. So Acharya explained that Kamsa represents that body which was giving so many beautiful promises to Devaki, right? And Devaki represents the soul. The soul was believing the body is going to take her in the journey, right? In such a very nice way, right? So suddenly, this very body, when it was obstructed by the plans of sense gratification, by this Akashvani, that you're going to be killed, the true ego, the true hatred, the true lust, envy, greed, everything came out. And what is the result of that? The same sister whom he was dancing to take in the marriage, he holded her hair, and on one hand was a knife and one hand was a hair. And he was ready to chop her head off without any second thought. It was not even like, oh my God, it's my sister. Why my sister? Why sister? You have to give no discussion. He had the sword, he had the sister, and he knew if the sister is killed, there is a question of eighth child. Right? So he was a very intelligent person in a way, in a demoniac way. Right? I mean, he wanted to enjoy. So he doesn't want his sister to be an obstacle, his friend to be an obstacle. For that matter, even the Akashvani to be an obstacle. So as soon as he holded her hair and he wanted to kill her, his friend Vasudev came and told Kamsa, hey Kamsa, look at the kind of bad image you will get in the society afterwards. You killed your own sister. You don't have to do this. There are means and ways to work it out. You don't have to kill your sister. Your problem is the eighth child that she is going to give. Why do you have to kill your sister? I promise you, and by the way, try to understand that, you are the soul, you don't have death. Basically, if you read Bhagavatam, in a way, Vasudev gave like a SSR sessions to Kamsa, you can say discover yourself session or whatever we preach new people, right? I mean, he told you are the soul, you'll find happiness, these are all the problems, don't worry. Why bad things happen to good people? You are a good person, but something bad has happened. No, don't worry, you'll fix it. You don't have to be so cruel, right? And it's not that Kamsa didn't believe in the superiority of the Supreme Lord Narayan. It's not like he believed. He didn't believe. Unlike Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, it was a different situation. They were so envious that they even rejected the position of the Supreme Lord at one point. But Kamsa was not like that. Kamsa knew the supremacy of the Supreme Lord, and and the whole way the universe is functioning. He had full idea, but he was so attached to his body that when the message came that he's going to be killed, he did not want to compromise on anything. His intelligence, got bewildered, right? I mean, when your desires are obstructed, what is it? Dhyaito Vishwapum Sangat Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodha Vijayate. Krodhot Bhavati Sammohat Sammohat Smriti Vibhrama. Smriti, remembrance. Your memory is gone. Smriti Brahmashat Buddhi Nasho. Your entire intelligence is gone. And Buddhi Nasho Pranashyati. You are back to your material activities. So Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki, period. So now, after Vasudev gave an assurance, Vasudev had a very good image of a very noble person who would never go back on his word. So Vasudev told, hey Kamsa, you don't have to do this. I am promising you. After giving all this gyan of spiritual knowledge, he told, okay, I'm going to promise you that when that 8th child comes, I'm going to bring that child to you. Okay, this is my promise to you. You can do whatever you want, but don't have to do this with your sister. And when Kamsa heard this, to a certain extent, he became calm. He said, okay, it looks to be a good plan. Why I have to be so cruel to my sister? And you're my friend. I believe you. So let me go ahead and do this. And then, of course, he gave back the palace where they were supposed to stay. And Kamsa said, okay, your 8th child will come. Then we'll take care of it. Until then, you will lead a life. No problem for me. But then there is Narad Muni. Narad Muni is a very transcendental devotee of the Supreme Lord, and he wants to add, he is more eager to get the Supreme Lord, right? He wants everything to happen in a much faster and a much blissful way. And Narad Muni comes here to Kamsa, and he tells Kamsa, hey Kamsa, you know what? I was traveling in this clouds, and there was a meeting happening between devatas. I was not invited to that, but I happened to hear what they were discussing, and it looks like they have a plan, and Supreme Lord told them that he can appear as any of the sons and kill you. And by the way, don't you know that Supreme Lord actually is your enemy? In previous life, your name was Kalanini Bhiman, right? And you were killed by Vishnu. Maybe you forgot, but Vishnu doesn't forget all these things. Now here also is trying to kill you. So you better be careful. Like that he told, and he left. Now Narayan, he did his pastime and he left, and immediately Kamsa is in tension. Now I can't take this. How can this both stay in the freely in the palace, and they will have a child I won't even know? And what about the 8th child? It can even be the first child. Like a flower petal has so many petals, and if you say the 8th petal is a problem, which petal should I start from? It can be any of the petals. So he said, you know what? There's no point counting from the first. I'm going to kill all the 8 children, right? So Kamsa took the decision, and of course, painfully, that he still had love for his sister, but he was so attached to his body and did not want to have any chance of dying like that. So he took his sister and Vasudev into a very, very dark prison, which was guarded by huge, Rakshasas, like big Rakshasas, and he kept them inside and said, okay, so every time you have a child, I'm going to get to know, and I'm going to kill that child. And Vasudev was, why are you doing this, Kamsa? I already told you that I'm going to give you the 8th child, but this time Kamsa was like, no, I'm logically convinced. He didn't tell that Narad Muni told me, but he said, I'm logically convinced. There's no point in discussing. I have made my decision, right? So then Vasudev and Devaki, they went through the most toughest times of their life. It is not easy for a woman to see her children being killed. And Devaki could have decided that, we are not going to have children. Simple, right? We're not going to have children. So where is the question of Kamsa killing them? They could have decided like that, but Devaki and Vasudev decided, no, it's a service to the Supreme Lord. The Lord has to appear. There is a plan. He's using us as an instrument for him to appear in this age. And we will do this as a service. And the service can be very painful, but we'll still go through with it. So they decided to have the children. And one after the other, the 6 sons of Marichi were taking birth for the curse that they had. And Kamsa would come, enter the as soon as the childbirth happens, the news would go to Kamsa. Kamsa is like waiting. Kamsa is waiting for what? Kamsa is waiting to harm Krishna, harm God, right? That is a difference between an envious materialistic person and a devotee. materialistic person wants to enjoy even at the cost of harming the planet or the creation or God himself, right? Kamsa is waiting for Krishna's appearance to harm him, whereas a devotee like Shabari was waiting for Lord Ram to come to serve him, right? You can see the difference, right? I mean, one is waiting to serve and one is waiting to harm. So, but Krishna was in Kamsa's heart also. And Acharyas, in a fun way, they also say that he was also Krishna conscious, but in a very negative way. Right? He was also thinking about Krishna all the time. Jahan dekho Krishna hi dikhai de raha hai. Like, he would just get up in the night. Oh my God, did Krishna take birth? No, no, no. I think it was the 8th child. No, no, maybe the next child will be Krishna. No, I think let me find out. So he'll find out how many months is she? Is she going to give the birth? Did childbirth happen? He was totally in anxiety. And Krishna conscious anxiety, so to say. So he was waiting. He was waiting for the child to appear. And as and when the news came, he would go to the Kal Kotri, the dark prison place where even the sunlight could not enter. And he would go there and he would take the small infant baby, and without any mercy, he would just smash the baby on the floor, on a rock, in a rocky wall. He would just smash. The very mark of the blood would still remain on the wall. And birth after birth, baby after baby, there were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks on the, and mother, Devaki would look at the blood on the wall and cry, every time she's going to have baby. It's not easy. It's simply inconceivable for, at least for me, what it would pain for how it would pain for a mother to, lose a child after 9 months of, carrying, and so much affection that grows along with it. It was not an easy thing. And Vasudeva himself was also in so much pain going through this whole thing. And that is the reason scriptures glorify Devaki as one of the greatest mothers, that the planet has seen, where she has given up all her desires and just served the Supreme Lord in all the painful times. And she never complained. She was only in pain. She was ready to do the service. And when the 6th child also left, at that time, the Supreme Personality of God, Lord Shri Krishna, even before his appearance, started planning for his appearance, right? And he told his very dear sister, Subhadra. Subhadra is mentioned in the spiritual world as Subhadra. In the material world, she is Bhadra. Subhadra means all auspicious. Bhadra means not auspicious, because she is in the material world giving pain to all the people who want to enjoy this material world. So for them, she is not auspicious. So he told Subhadra that please, you have to appear as Bhadra, in this material world. And by the way, my brother is going to appear before me, right? Lord Balramji. And today is Lord Balramji's appearance day. Happy Balramji's appearance to all the devotees on the call. So this is a wonderful day today. And, we'll discuss a little about Balramji's appearance also. I was thinking, that I've been asked to speak about Krishna's appearance today, and today is Balramji's appearance. So should I even spend a little time? So with your permission, maybe 5-10 minutes, in between the Leela, the way Balramji appears. So Lord Krishna told, Yogamaya, who becomes Mahamaya here, he told her that please, go ahead and make sure that my brother Balramji is transferred from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. Because in the spiritual world, in the spiritual sky, his original mother is not Devaki, it is Rohini. So here also it should be Rohini. So you do the transfer. So the first time, amazing transfer of the womb happened. I don't think any technology till now can ever do that. Or maybe scientists will keep trying, but they never can do that. But Maya Devi just did it just with a small command, and the womb it just felt like abortion, right? I mean, the baby came and disappeared, and the baby is appeared there right in Gokul in Rohini's womb, right? And Lord Balramji has appeared. Lord Balramji ki jai. He's right there even before Krishna comes. And Krishna also told, okay, now you're also going to appear in the womb of Yashoda Mai along with me. I'm also going to appear in the womb of Yashoda Mai, and along with me, you'll also appear. And Krishna expanded himself into Vasudeva Krishna and appeared in the mind of Vasudeva. And from the mind of Vasudeva, he went into the into the heart of Vasudeva. From the heart of Vasudeva, he went into the heart of Devaki. And from the heart of Devaki, he went into the womb of Devaki. And then, as soon as he appeared in the womb of Devaki, there was an effulgence in her body. It was so apparent. It was so apparent that, it has to be somebody special who is coming. And even the soldiers standing outside suddenly saw a glow in the whole room, in the whole dark shell room where even sunlight couldn't enter. There's such a beautiful glow coming out of this woman, the sister of Kamsa. And they went and told Kamsa, hey, by the way, so by the way, Kamsa thought that the sixth child has aborted because of fear of him. That's again his foolishness. He thought that it's aborted, but the child actually appeared as Balramji. And now when he got the news that there is effulgence, in his sister, he immediately understood, yes, this is what I'm waiting for. It has to be Vishnu. It has to be the Supreme Lord. Now I don't have to wait. Now I'm very much ready. So Kamsa is doing his, I don't know, Surya Namaskaras or whatever to fix his body, that he's going to fight and kill that child as soon as he appears, right? So, so Kamsa is waiting. The whole world is waiting. As soon as Supreme Lord appeared into the womb of Devaki, the whole desire of all the devatas, the Mukkoti devatas, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, everybody started dancing and praying. In fact, there is a whole chapter of prayers of devatas, prayers of demigods on the appearance of Lord Krishna in the womb of Devaki, right? We don't have time to read all that, but in essence, they were so happy that this right person has come. Now Krishna is going to appear, and the atrocities on this planet are going to be reduced. The burden on the Mother Earth is going to be reduced, right? So the uncultured Kshatriyas are going to be removed. Brahmana is going to be worshipped again. Namo Brahmanyaya Devaya Gau Brahmanayitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. So that Govinda is going to come. So they started worshipping, and Vasudeva was very much worshipping, praying intensely that, hey, Krishna, you're going to come, right? And we are so grateful that we are an instrument. And there is a whole, a series of prayers. Srimad Bhagavatam is prayers. So the whole prayers of the devatas, prayers of the mother, prayers of the father, prayers of the whole universe, they're all happening. And it is explained in the 13th chapter of 10th canto, when it begins, that the whole nature started changing. The river water started becoming very clear. When Brahmanas were doing yajnas, the fire was very nicely burning. It was not getting disturbed by the wind, right? Every branch of a plant had a flower. Every branch. Can you just imagine? It's an unbelievable sight that was happening. And people in Gokul, people all around the universe, not only just the planet Earth, it's the whole universe, in the whole Brahmanda. Everybody is looking at the nature, and something special is going to happen now, right? Everybody is dancing, cows' udders are filled with milk, and Brajvasis are happy. The whole air is filled with fragrance, right? And the whole nature is celebrating that the Supreme Personality is going to come, right? Just like our acharyas, they sing, Narottam Das Thakur sings that when Radha and Krishna comes to our home, we should worship them with Chandan, we should worship them with Mala, we should worship them with Radha Krishna Prana Mora Jugala Kishore. If you see that song, he's going on telling, how to invite the Supreme Lord when they come to your home. Put Chandan, give them a seat, give them a nice, water. The whole thing that he says, the same way the whole nature is inviting Krishna to appear now, right? It was so apparent. Kamsa knew that Krishna is going to come now, and so he came. Krishna appeared, and as soon as he came out of the womb of Devaki, he was glowing. He was glowing so bright that it was impossible to hide him. Devaki was so worried. At the same time, now here is the beauty of Srimad Bhagavatam. If you read the verses of Devaki's prayers, when Krishna appeared and Devaki looked at that Supreme Lord Krishna, the little child who came, and she knows that it's the Supreme Lord, she also knows that she is her child. So the Yogamaya simply covered her eyes, and initially her prayers were all like, she's talking very technical prayer. She's saying, you are the Mahatattva. From you everything comes. The whole universe are formed through you, and you are the cause of all causes. You are when you want the unmanifested and the manifested, everything goes inside, and then when you appear, everything comes out. She's basically giving a whole Goloka chart explanation. If you see Devaki's prayers, they were very technical prayers. And nowhere she was saying that, this is my little child, he is so beautiful. No, she was completely so much attracted, and she knew who has appeared. But right in between that, the motherly love comes out. That's the beauty of the Krishna consciousness, that devotees also, they get so much knowledge, but at the same time the focus is on bhakti. They always remember Krishna as that sweet boy. And they get attracted to that sweet boy, even though we listen to so much other things, details of his this 24 elements and the Paramatma and the Atma and the whole Pradhana and the whole Mahat Tattva and the whole Mahavishnu and the expansions. We hear all that, but then we are really not attracted, because that is what Krishna keeps us there, saying bhakti is prominent, right? So Acharya Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also explains that Kamsa represents the pains of material life, and Devaki represents bhakti. So when a devotee feels the pain of the material world and practices bhakti, through that bhakti Krishna appears. Right? Through that bhakti Krishna comes into this world. Right? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Devaki gave birth to Krishna because she had bhakti. She represents bhakti. So here is Krishna, and Devaki is praising him as Supreme Lord, at the same time also looking at him as a small child. And she told Krishna that, Krishna, how can I hold you with these four hands? You have Shankha, Chakra, Pada, Gada, so many things you're holding. Your natural, the original, the form, which is so sweet with two hands. Why don't you come to that? Because if Kamsa sees you with these four hands, he'll know that you're Vishnu, and he will immediately kill you. I want to try to hide you. See, on one side, she is telling that Krishna is the cause of all causes. And immediately her motherly love is saying, oh, Kamsa is coming, by the way, hide. So we can't understand. It's something that only pure devotees experience when they see the Supreme Lord as the strongest of all. At the same time, they also want to take care of him, right? Just like Lord Balramji, right? Lord Balram is Krishna's elder brother. So he has a paternal affection towards him, and he always wants to protect. At the same time, he's also strict to his younger brother. There are so many things that Krishna doesn't do when Balram is there. There are so many things that Krishna doesn't do when Balram is there. But at the same time, on Balram's appearance day, he does all the things, because on appearance day is a little more merciful. So he'll do all nutcut things on that day, right? Exactly like on the appearance day of Lord Balaram, Krishna killed Aghasura. Just imagine, if Balramji was there when Aghasura was there, do you think Balram would have allowed Krishna to dance and go into Aghasura's mouth? He would never allow. Say, what are you doing? Stop, that's a snake. You don't have to go. But Krishna did all kinds of naughty things, when Balramji is not there, especially on his appearance day. And his appearance day happens to be today, right? And this is the exact place where Srila Prabhupada also stopped his purports. If you see, this is the exact place where he ended his transcendental Leela on this earth. And he left us right when Lord Brahma has to start his prayers, right? So Lord Balram's appearance has a lot of significance. And this is the exact day on which our Parama Acharya of our Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva God Guru Parampara Sampradaya, Lord Brahma told his prayers. The Brahma Samhita, the whole prayers of Srimad Bhagavatam were recited on this day, right? On this very day, the 14th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, when Lord Brahma submitted himself, was also on the birthday of Balaram. Not the first day when Aghasura was killed, but the next year's day, right? So 1 year had passed after Aghasura was killed. You know that pastime. I'm not going to get to the detail of that. But Krishna manifested himself into all the calves and cows and all the gopas and gopis and little, especially gopas, he manifested, and the entire Vrindavan was Krishna was everywhere, and even Balaram could not recognize Krishna in everybody. Balaram would get perplexed that how come everybody is loving their children like this? How come parents have become so affectionate to their children? But he could never guess that actually their children were not their children. There was Krishna, because their children were taken by Brahma in the Brahma Vimohan Leela. So even Balaram couldn't guess, but that's the birthday of Balaram on which this pastime happened. And on the next birthday of Balaram, also, Brahma appeared to Lord Krishna and started praying, to Krishna that please forgive me for what I have done. So this happens to be the same birthday, appearance day of Balaramji, and also the prayers of our Supreme Acharya of our Sampradaya, Brahma Sampradaya, who extended his prayers to Lord Krishna. Right? So Krishna appeared, and Devaki requested Krishna that, this form of yours is too attractive to behold. So why don't you, come into a two-handed form? And Krishna came into the two-handed form, and then Krishna instructed. Vasudeva that take me to Nandagaon. Take me to Nandagaon, right? And as soon as that instruction came, Devaki was very happy, and she was also in pain. That this beautiful child, I could not even cuddle him for too much time. I could not even hug him, kiss him for too much time. And I have to send him now, and I don't know when I'll see him again, but I have to send him because my brother Kamsa is going to come. So Vasudeva picked up the small child, and as soon as he picked up the child, all the the army, the big the demons who were sitting outside the room, they started fainting. One by one. And the big shackles that were there, big iron shackles that were there in his arms and his legs, everything started breaking apart, right? Bhagavatam explains that the big doors, huge doors, which can't be practically moved by a single person, just started opening themselves. All the doors started opening one by one. And the whole prison got lit, with so much effulgence, of course, because of Krishna's appearance. And also Krishna wanted to go, so he was showing the way to Vasudeva. And Vasudeva just folded Krishna and he started walking. He started walking as if everything is going to happen. Everything was happening. He was just walking. And he came out of the prison. And then he went to Yamuna, and Yamuna gave way. The very Yamuna which was flowing just the pastime of Yamuna, how she took blessings of Lord Krishna. It is spoken by our acharyas and our sannyasis in our society for days and days. Just that very little time that Yamuna spent with Krishna. Right? Mother Ganga was getting envious. How dare you touch the feet of the Supreme Lord? And Yamuna wants to touch the feet of the Supreme Lord. And she's going up and up, and Vasudeva is like, oh, give me way, I have to take, so this whole pastime, there's so much to discuss. How can we discuss all? So let me just going through it. So Vasudeva went to Nandagaon, and there, through the Yogamaya potency again, Yashoda gave birth to twins. One is Swayam Subhadra, Maya Devi, and Yogamaya Devi, and the other is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original Yashoda Krishna, right? The original Vrindavana Krishna appeared there. The one who appeared in the prison house was Vasudeva Krishna. Now Vasudeva Krishna is an expansion of the original Krishna. So when this Krishna was taken, to Yashoda mind, Vasudeva Krishna, he simply merged into the Yashoda Krishna, the original Supreme Sweet Lord. He just merged into him, and the Krishna was just lying there. He is always the son of Yashoda in the spiritual world, So he's happy. He's just lying and he's waiting for the next day morning for Nandotsav. He's all set with his plan. And Vasudeva Krishna just goes and merges into him, and then as per the instruction of Krishna, Vasudeva picked up the Yogamaya. He picked up Subhadra, who is now Bhadra Devi, Durga. So he picked her up, and little Durga, he brought her back to the prison house. So when he was walking back, the Yamuna was again closing, And when he started walking into the prison house, one door was closing behind him, and one demon who was planted there to keep them inside the prison, they started getting his conscience back. They were fainted. They all started getting up. And as soon as Vasudev came into the final prison where Devaki was there, all the doors closed and the shackles came back to his hands, and as if nothing happened. He just had the baby there, and all the things came back, right? And Devaki and Vasudeva are just looking at each other. The Supreme Lord's Leela, right? Nobody knows what happened except you and me. who the real person went, and then here's this small girl. This is my dear friend, Nanda Maharaj's daughter I brought here. And Devaki is looking at little daughter, very sweet daughter. She's looking at her and she's so much in love again to see the small child. But she's also worried that this Kamsa is going to come. But she's thinking, maybe Kamsa will not kill her because she's a girl. And the Akashwani said it has to be the son of Devaki. Maybe he will not kill. So Devaki is thinking, out of her motherly love, she wants to see if this child can be spared. But you know what the Mahamaya did? She immediately cried. Wah! She cried. She cried so loud. Acharya explained even before the messenger went to Kamsa, her voice went to Kamsa that something has happened in the prison house. And Kamsa immediately started running and the child has come, child has come, Then on the way, the prison guard said, yes, sir, they have come. Something has happened. The child has appeared. So Kamsa comes running, into the prison house, and he comes into the main hall where Yashoda and where Devaki and Vasudeva are there, and he picks up this little girl. Kamsa is for a moment shocked. Hey, what is this? Akashwani told it's a boy, but it's a girl. But how does it matter? If the Supreme Lord wants to come in the form of a girl and kill me, I'm not going to take any chances. So he was so merciless. The same thing, right? The real tendencies come outside when our sense gratification is stopped, right? So he took that child and he wanted to bang her to the wall, to the rock, and smash her like he has done for the remaining 6 children of Marichi. And then there, at that point, from his hand, zoop, she went out, right? And Kamsa was like, what happened? I can't. Where is the child? Where is she gone? And suddenly she appeared right in front of him in the air up, and she manifested her form of that Durga with 8 hands, holding the heads of the demons with all blood flowing out from her mouth and her hands with her sword, and sitting on this big, ferocious lion, a tigerish lion, and she's telling Kamsa, hey Kamsa, you fool. The one who has to kill you has already appeared. What are you planning to do now? And she just disappeared. And Kamsa is just standing in that hall. What just happened? I wanted to kill this girl. She not only left my hand, she went up and gave me second warning. I already had first warning. Second warning that I'm going to be killed. And the person had planned all this for these many number of years in so much anxiety. And this child has already appeared. What do I do? And actually, it is explained that Kamsa became very humble. he actually went into depression. That he just went and sat back in his throne, thinking what to do now. I'm going to die. What can I do? The person who is supposed to appear, Vishnu, has already appeared, and I don't think I can do anything. The only chance I had was to kill him when he appears. Now he has already appeared. There is a double confirmation from Durga herself. So what can I do? So he was sitting like that, and then it is explained. Kamsa's friends came. Now see, when you have Durbuddhi, you also have Asat Sangha, right? Kamsa's Asat Sangha friends, so-called party friends, they all came to Kamsa and said, hey Kamsa, don't worry, why are you getting so depressed? You see, you still have a chance to kill Vishnu. All you have to do is you have to irritate and kill Brahmanas and kill and just do disturbance in the whole kingdom, that Vishnu would not want to stay here. Then Vishnu will go. or you'll get a chance to kill Vishnu. And then all his, associates, Pralamba, the Aga, all these demons, they all said, don't worry, Kamsa, we are there. We will take care, don't worry. Putana, yes, Bakasura, yes, we are there. We will have plans. We'll have plans. One by one, we'll go and take care of it. And Kamsa was like, oh, okay. Still. So these are the false promises of this material world, right? That we'll find happiness, that our body will never become old. We'll always be happy. That's what the whole world promises, right? All the advertisements. So Kamsa also felt like that. But Krishna already appeared. And the sweet Krishna, the next day they had a big party, Nandotsav, right? But one other instruction that we get from this Leela is when the beautiful Krishna was taken by Vasudeva out of the prison, all the shackles were removed, all the doors were removed, all the pathway was cleared. But even when he was bringing Subhadra back into the prison, all the doors were closed, all the shackles came back, all the darkness came back. So here, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that when you have Krishna, I think it's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, maybe I'm wrong, but one of the great acharyas explains that when you are having Krishna in your hands, all darkness is removed and all pathway back home, back to God, it is cleared. But when you have Maya in your hands, you are bound in this material world. Just like all those doors are closed, just like all those darkness comes back, just like all your happiness is destroyed when you have Maya in your hands. So we should always keep Krishna in our hands instead of Maya. That's one of the understandings. So here, coming back to Lord Balram's birthday, I just said I'll spend 2 minutes. I think I'm almost there. Just 2 minutes left. So here, Balramji's appearance is a very, very auspicious day. He's Adi Guru, who appears and shows as a servitor Godhead how God has to be served. And when so many temples are there in Vrindavan, of all the Goswamis, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Govindev, Radha Raman, so many temples. Lord, when Srila Prabhupada had to open a temple, he opened Radha Shyam Sundar. It is explained that Vrindavan Vasis, even now, when they want to see the beautiful form of Srimati Radharani, they prefer to come to ISKCON, temple and see Radha Shyam Sundar. There Srimati Radharani is so beautiful. And when Srila Prabhupada had to establish the main deity of the temple, he kept Krishna Balram, right? Because he felt Balramji is Dao, right? And he is also most important person of Vrindavan, the very first expansion of Lord Krishna. I'll end with a small pastime, which I heard. It's very sweet pastime, is when Krishna was bound in the Damodar Leela, and Balram came and told Yashoda Mai, why don't you leave him? Chhod do na usko. I'll tell this in Hindi, तो कह रहे थे छोड़ दो उनको, क्यों ऐसे बेकार में बांध रखा है, मम्मा अच्छा लड़का है मेरा भाई, जरा छोड़ दो. देन यशोदा बोल रही थी नहीं नहीं, ये अच्छा दिखता है, अच्छा है नहीं, ये पूरे नटखट काम करता है, इसको बांध के रखना है. तो फिर जाके कृष्णा से बलराम जी बोल रहे हैं कि छोड़, ऐसे काम क्यों करता है तू, मैं तेरे तरफ से जाके बोल दूं क्या, तू ऐसे काम नहीं करेगा. तो कृष्णा एकदम साइलेंट, तुम्हें जो बोलना है बोलो, मेरे को तो आई एम ओके. Then Balram ji is feeling the pain that मेरे भाई को बांध रखा है ऐसे. Again he went to Yashoda Mai, छोड़ दो ना इसको, छोड़ दो, थोड़ा छोड़ दो. And Yashoda Mai is नहीं, ये फिर से जाके मटकी फोड़ेगा, ये फिर से पूरे नटखट काम करेगा, फिर बंदरों को माखन खिलाएगा, मेरे से नहीं होता, इसको बांध के रखना है. Then Balram ji फिर से कृष्ण जी के पास जाके बोलते हैं, देखो एक काम करते हैं, तू मुझे प्रॉमिस कर, यू प्रॉमिस मी कि तू ये काम फिर से नहीं करेगा, फिर से जाके मटकी नहीं खोलेगा. अब मैं जाके ये बात बता दूंगा, तूने प्रॉमिस किया तो तुझे छोड़ देंगे. तो कृष्ण जी बोलते हैं बलराम से, यार मटकी नहीं फोड़ना, अगर कुछ नहीं करना तो ये निकलवाने का क्या मतलब है, तो मजा ही नहीं है, रहने दो इसे. तो बलराम जी इसलिए इसको मैं कैसे निकलवाऊं इसमें से, because Krishna doesn't want his shackles to be removed, because he likes to do all fun activities in Vrindavan. So Krishna's appearance as a child, Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan are all filled with so much joy. And we all as devotees, for us every Janmashtami is more and more special, because we hear about Lord Krishna in so many beautiful ways from great sannyasis in our movement, and Srila Prabhupada himself, the way he described in Krishna book. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. and I don't know if somebody has counted the number of mistakes, please send me a separate message. But it's a great joy to have all of you in this call, and very grateful to the management who has given this opportunity. Thank you very much. Mansakalpataribhascha, Kripasindubhyavcha, Pattanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavibhyo Namo, Antakoti Vaishnavibhyo.
Thanks for the wonderful session, Prabhuji. I think we cannot expect for a better start than this for the Shravanotsava festival.
Prabhuji, I can't hear you, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Little bit. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was just saying that thank you for sharing this wonderful session, Prabhuji. I think it is a very good, I mean, we cannot expect for better start than this for the Shravanotsava festival. And I would like to thank you for sharing the wonderful explanation that you mentioned about the way Acharyas have compared the Kamsa to body and Devaki to soul, and how the obstacles to sense gratification brings out various greed, anger, and other qualities in a human being. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, with your permission, probably we can keep the platform open for a few questions or reflections anyone would like to share. I would request devotees to raise your hands and switch on your camera so that we can you can share your reflections or questions.
Any reflections you can add to whatever we discussed? If I missed anything important, please.
Krishna Rao Prabhuji, I have just unmuted you. Maybe you can go ahead with your reflections or question.
Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Just one doubt is, Prabhuji, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you. But just the same Akashvani experience. That's okay. Go ahead.
Just one minute. Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Now
Yeah,
able to see.
Yeah, I can see you now, Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Yes,
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhuji.
Dhanavad Pranam.
My doubt is, Balram ji is 8 days old. Then Sri Krishna. Is it true? 7 or 8 days only difference between both?
I will have to get back on this, Prabhuji. I don't have information on this. If somebody else in the call can tell that, it's fine.
Because this, as you told me, that is the 7th child transferred to the home of Rohini Mata. So 8th child, when Sri Krishna was born, 8th child means again 9 months difference maybe there. Should be means as per our, we don't know, as Maya, the spiritual world, it is different completely. What Lord Krishna does is it is beyond our imagination.
I have a confirmation from Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Prabhu that he is 8 days older.
8 days older.
Yes.
Yes. But how Kamsa could assimilate that just now 7th child has disappeared? How the 8th child came within 7 or 8 days?
Yeah,
that you cannot calculate.
I think Kamsa was too tense that he did not calculate or anything. I don't know. I'm just speculating. Or he was too eager to see Krishna that he just ran and came as soon as he got to know that.
Yes, probably.
Yeah, the sweet pastimes. The sweet pastimes.
He was bewildered and confused. So in the eagerness to kill Krishna,
he had too many shocks in his life, Prabhuji. So he was okay to take one more shock. Hare Krishna.
So nice, so nice. You have explained very nice. Very, very.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for your question.
Okay, Ravindra Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for nice class.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, my question is, you said Subhadra here in metal she became Bhadra and transferred. So who is the other Subhadra who has sister of Krishna and married Arjuna? So what is who are the parents? Just can you clarify on that? Thank you.
Yeah, so probably the original Subhadra never leaves Vrindavan with Krishna, right? So she is appeared in Vrindavan again as a daughter of Nanda only, but exactly her mother, even I have to inquire and ask Prabhuji. I never dwelled into that, but I know that she is the sister who grew up with Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan, and when this Subhadra was brought by Vasudev, was it another Subhadra who again appeared, or was the same Subhadra who expanded and she came here? That's something that I will have to ask my seniors. I'm sorry, I don't have a direct answer to that.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hemant Prabhuji.
प्रभु
Hare Krishna. Vimal Prabhu, Dandot
हरे
Pranam.
कृ- हरे कृष्ण प्रभु प्रभु मेरे को एक डाउट है प्रभु
हाँ.
कि लाइक वाई अभी कम्स जी ने कई को दोनों को एक ही जेल में रखा प्रभु मेरे को लाइक उनको आइडिया है ना प्रभु लाइक अभी अभी दोनों एक ही जेल में रहे तो बोले तो बर्थ देते अभी जन्म देता बोल के मालूम है ना अलग अलग रखे तो अलग अलग भी रख सकते ना वो मेरे को डाउट है नहीं मैं लाइक आई रिस्पेक्ट कृष्णा जी ऐसे कुछ नहीं है बोले तो मेरे को ऐसे डाउट आया था अलग अलग
Maybe it comes
not
in
to like not as a joke but I got as a doubt like I just wanted to clarify like yes bro.
Yeah, I mean, मजाक की तरह से देखा जाए तो maybe that time Kamsa did not do engineering or doctor, so he did not have that much intelligence. But anyway, keeping the the latter part aside, Kamsa was in anxiety definitely that Krishna is going to appear. He wanted Krishna to appear as much, right? And in those days, it was not in the culture to keep husband and wife away from each other. The culture itself never permitted that, okay, husband and wife should be kept separately. I mean, they were not that demoniac. Now it is a very ordinary thing for someone to do, but Kamsa never wanted his sister to be away from his husband. At the same time, he was also very, very eager to see Krishna because he wanted to kill Krishna. The eighth child he wanted to kill. How long will he stay like that, waiting for for the case to be settled? Right? These days, criminals, they can have the case settled for 30 years in the court. Right? They cannot sleep day and night. In the same way, even Kamsa was like, jaldi settle hi karte hain. 8वें बच्चे को जल्दी ला दो, इसको जो कुछ भी करना है करो, खत्म करो. Right? So he definitely would have been eager to finish the whole. But there might be a better answer. I don't know if someone wants to. These are some intricacies in the past times which some acharyas can answer. We know the past time, but why, what happened, and how it happened, and why, what was the reasoning? Definitely, there are better answers than what they gave.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji.
We'll take any more questions. Are we done?
Yeah, we have a few more questions, Prabhuji. I will unmute Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Pooja Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
My question is that Kamsa he was a what do you say? A demon or a human, because when we talk about that, a lot of times we refer him as not a human but a demon. But what is, like, if he was a human, then why he sided with the demons? Why he did not had the human emotions? Why he sided with the demons?
Well, Kamsa was definitely a human. It was not like he was a demon, but he had demonic tendencies and he had demonic friends. He had all wrong association, like Denuka, Baka, Aga, they all were his friends, Putana. He had so many mystic siddhis also. And he was a very powerful king in itself. So he was, a strong personality, but he had demonic tendencies. He was all about material enjoyment and happiness, right? As I said in the beginning, he appeared to be a very loyal brother also. He appeared to be a very loyal son also. He appeared to be a very good king also in a way. The way he conducted himself. Only when his plans of enjoyment were stopped, the demon inside him came out. Right? So demon is about the tendencies, not only about the external looks. It's about the tendencies that we carry. And like Prabhupada many times explains, what is the difference between a demon and a devata? Right? Sura and asura. Suras are the ones who are giving their existence for serving the Supreme Lord. They go by the rules and regulations dictated to Supreme Lord. But asuras are the ones who reject it, because that comes as an obstacle in their sense enjoyment. So they also use God for their own happiness, right? In the same way, Kamsa was that kind of character. He's a very strong person, no doubt, and he had very, very influential and strong friends, bad association. And when the time came, the real Kamsa came out, which even shocked Devaki. Devaki also was shocked. Bhagavatam explained, she was stunned that how come this person who is supposed to protect me today is what is a Rakhi, right? I mean, I don't know if the Rakhi was tied or not, but point is she had so much confidence in the brother and her brother that he's going to be my protector. But the same protector became the reason for her death, in just a fraction of a second. That shows that's why Acharya explained that Kamsa represents a body which will cheat us one day. This very body whom we think is so nice, so beautiful, every day morning we see our face in the mirror thinking we are the best, is going to cheat us one day badly. And it will just surprise us that, we have so many problems inside it. So not to be attached to this body, just like Devaki was attached to Kamsa as a brother.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. One more question. As in the story that you narrated, you also said that he was a Kalnemi in the last life. So in this life, he was Kamsa. So what did he did that in this life he was like a human, and at the same time he also got the association of Krishna? Like what karma he did?
Basically, maybe, again, I don't have a straight answer for this, Mataji, but I can tell you that these demoniac tendencies, they go life after life. So he was a demon in previous life. Lord Vishnu corrected him and even killed him, but still he didn't lose the tendencies. He again appeared with the same envy towards the Supreme Lord, and he wanted, and as soon as the time came when the Supreme Lord is going to take away his body, he wanted to again become the same kind of demon. So in this life, what he did, we don't know. Bad association, definitely we know. But in the previous life, as Acharya has explained, that he was a demon coming in, and he again appeared in this life.
I have one more question, Prabhuji. As Ravan and Kumbhakarna was also a incarnation of Jaya Vijaya. In Srimad Bhagavatam, what avatar they had in this Srimad Bhagavatam? What are the names of this Jaya Vijaya?
Shishupal and Dantavakra.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
Pranam. Any other senior devotee can please correct my answers or add if you feel there's something needs to be told. Why does Akashvani need to give warning to Kamsa? Well, it was also a plan of the Devatas that they wanted to make sure that Krishna appears. They did not want to wait for Krishna to appear, like give the warning immediately. Kamsa will, do the needful, and the birth will start happening. They did not want to give any time. So Akashvani also was like a plan to speed up Krishna's appearance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We have Vasudevadas Prabhuji. Like to ask your question.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, all glories. What can I tell you, bro? You tell the answers.
No. Please accept humble reverence. This was a wonderful class, and an opportunity for me to see you live as well. One thing I would like to add to the question, one of the devotee has asked about keeping Devaki and Vasudeva separation. Just to add into that, for Lord Krishna to appear in general in this material world, for a child to come, it is a union of a man and a woman. But for Krishna to come, it does not have to be like a union of a man and a woman. So Krishna can appear as he is, and the way he has his own plans. So our way of seeing this material world is different, and Krishna's way of appearing is different. So we should never try to think that Krishna has come through the union of Vasudeva and Devaki. Actually, Krishna, the way I think the Srimad Bhagavatam explains, if I understand correctly, it's a transformation from the heart of Vasudev enters into Devaki's heart, and then that's how she Krishna comes into the womb of Devaki. It's not like the way we see in the material world. Just I wanted to add a bit
Correct,
that up.
correct. You're right, Prabhu. Yeah, yeah.
Wonderful class, Prabhu. Wonderful
Hare
class.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hari bol, Hari bol.
Last
Okay.
two questions, Prabhuji.
Last
I think
question, Hare Krishna.
there is Shamu Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam, Shamu Prabhu.
Shamu Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Prabhu, you want to just ask one question, Prabhu. This is all part of Krishna's leelas on the earth, and then typically anyone who participate into the leela, even it is Kamsa or anybody, would they also get the liberation also, Prabhu? Is it like that? Because Kamsa, though he is considered with one of the most demonic characters, but still he is not part of like Dattavakra and Shishupala or Jay Vijaya kind, this one. So would he also get the liberation? Had he got the liberation also, Prabhu?
Well, I don't know the aspect of liberation, but I don't want to speculate here. If someone has the answer, you can definitely add. But I have heard in the explanation given by our acharyas, our great Maharaj in our movement, that Kamsa saw Krishna's original form when he died, before leaving his body, and he actually was happy, that he is being killed by the Supreme Lord. So there is very good possibility that Krishna would have taken him back, right into the spiritual world. But as I said, I don't want to speculate because again, in the previous life, he was also killed by Vishnu. So why didn't he go back then? So again, he came back, right? So I don't know the aspect of where he went afterwards, but he felt very fortunate when he was dying. At that moment, he looked at Krishna, and he had a smile, and he left his body.
Great, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
Pranam.
Prabhuji, we have two more hands up, which is, I think, Hemant Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare
I think
Krishna,
this is the
Hemant
last
Prabhu.
question.
Yeah. Prabhu, you're on mute. You're on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Like, first of all, I would like to thank Vasudeva Das Prabhu for helping me to learn. Like, before I ask one question now regarding that separation one, I would like to thank Vasudeva Das Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. And sir, Prabhu, like अभी मैं भी group में join हुआ था प्रभु, भगवत गीता क्लास में मैं भी daily सुनता हूँ प्रभु, और मेरे को daily मिलता है कि जन्माष्टमी 8 days to go और 7 days to go, और उस वक्त मेरे को मन में ऐसा लगता है कि शेयर करने के लिए ऐसा लगता है, पर नहीं अभी मेरे को ऐसा लगता है कि शेयर करना है बोल के, और दूसरी तरफ ऐसा लगता है कि दूसरा ऐसे कि अगर शेयर किया तो सामने वाला क्या सोचते हैं, like what others feel, and I feel every time like this Prabhu. So what should I do Prabhu? Like बुद्धि बोलता है कि शेयर करने के लिए बोलता है, मन जो ऐसा बोलता है कि मत शेयर करो, काय को रवि, काय को ऐसा कुछ लगता है प्रभु, क्या करना है मेरे समझ में आ रहा है।
जितना हमने सुना, जितना हमने समझा, जरूर शेयर कीजिए। शेयर करने से क्या होता है, एक तो हमारी बुद्धि बढ़ती है, whatever we have heard, it will become fixed up in our memory when we share with others, and second thing is our heart will become purified. The more we discuss about Krishna, जितने बार कृष्ण का नाम लेंगे, जितने बार कृष्ण के बारे में बात करेंगे, उतना ही हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियस बन जाएंगे। तो हमें जरूर शेयर करना चाहिए, जितना हमने सही जगह से सुना उतना हमें शेयर करना चाहिए, जरूर शेयर करें। लोग कुछ भी सोचें, जैसे मुझे यहाँ पे बोला गया कि शेयर करो, I don't think I'm qualified or even knowledgeable, but then when I felt, okay, अगर कृष्ण के बारे में 1 घंटा बात करूंगा तो मेरा तो बेनिफिट होगा ही होगा। So ऐसे में let me share, है ना? Yeah.
Like out of
Sorry, I think you're muted again.
Yeah.
Did you ask? Yeah. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu.
So, yeah, I think we can conclude the session in the interest of time, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'd like to thank you again, and I would request everyone to thank Prabhuji by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Rama.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.